Thank you for coming by. This is American Project. Please be sure to like and subscribe. We need your help to get to the 1,000 subscribers mark. We got about 300 to go. I appreciate it. Let's take a look at what's going on with Nikki Haley. I don't know, you guys, but I think I smell a rat with this one here. Boy, she sure looks mean. I don't know why she stayed in so long. Well, apparently she's out now, finally. I guess that means that she's not completely going to lose her entire career, from what I understand. If she stayed in any longer than this, people were going to be saying, we've had it with you, Nikki. But, boy, she sure did hang in a long time. I don't get it. I don't know if it was a good move or a bad move. I think it's a bad move. I think she should have been behind Trump, rallying the troops and tell them to, get in there and vote for her. But it does show some weaknesses on the Democrat side. A lot of Democrats voted for her. And, in other words, they don't feel good about old Joe Biden. If you think about it, that could mean that. And it could also mean that perhaps they just don't like Trump. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think there is a strong movement in the Democrats to get away from Biden because of his policies are really bad. So, not doing any favors, for the people in the U.S. with his policies. It's really doing a lot of damage. All right, let's see what these people got to say here. Charleston, South Carolina, Reuters. Nikki Haley ended her long-shot challenge to Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump on Wednesday, ensuring the former president will be the party's candidate in a rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden in November's election. All right, ensuring the former president, I don't think she ensured anything. He did it, not her. Haley, the former South Carolina governor and Trump's ambassador to the United Nations when he was president, made the announcement in a speech in Charleston a day after Super Tuesday, when Trump beat her soundly in 14 of 15 Republican nominating contests. The time has now come to suspend my campaign, Haley said. Well, I have no regrets. Yeah, he had a big party with a lot of money. I don't see why you would regret anything. Haley lasted longer than any other Republican challenger to Trump, but never posed a serious threat to the former president, whose iron grip on the party's base remains firm despite multiple criminal indictments. Yeah, well, those criminal indictments probably helped him. I mean, he only put in like 88 criminal indictments against the guy, and about 15, 20 judges are coming after him from every which way and angle. There's groups of people that are really communists that are filing indictments against him. They're putting into the courts the cases, and they got a lot of money. And they are communist outfits that are coming against him. They intend to take over and rule this country if something isn't done about it. All right, the rematch between Trump 77 and Biden 81, the first repeat U.S. presidential contest since 1956, is one that few Americans want. Opinion polls show both Biden and Trump have low approval ratings among voters. Now, speak for yourself, dude. They just don't like America First policies, make America great again. I mean, it's unbelievable what they've done with the word MAGA and made it sound like it's just poison when it's just a simple phrase. The election promises to be deeply divisive in a country already riven by political polarization. Biden has cast Trump as an existential danger to democratic principles. Well, he's just projecting there now, isn't he? Because he's the one that is existentially dangerous to the democratic principles. He's trying to stop the voting system. Like I was just saying earlier, over 88 different cases against Trump to get him to not be able to be on the ballot, much less, have a voting between the two of them. So he's got a lot of room to speak there, don't he? He's just projecting, Well, Trump has sought to relitigate his false claims that he won in 2020. Well, they never checked it out. They refused to check it out. Nothing's been checked. But I do know that Judicial Watch has done an enormous amount of work in cleaning up some of those voter registries. You should look into it. They could use your help, your support. They've done a great deal of work, and they've been doing a great job and continue to do so. Haley was 52 years old, drew support from deep-pocketed donors intent on stopping Trump from winning a third consecutive Republican presidential nomination. particularly after she notched a series of strong performances at debates that Trump opted to skip. Well, I didn't watch her, little show there, so I'm not that impressed by her. I didn't think she really talked that well. She ultimately failed to pry loose enough conservative voters in the face of Trump's dominance, of course. But her stronger showing among moderate Republicans and Democrats, especially Democrats and independents, highlighted how Trump's scorched earth style of politics, scorched earth, you mean, you must be speaking about the Democrats there, dude, because he just got really basic stuff, just America first. I mean, what do you want? Haley put emphasis on foreign policy. Drawing on her foreign policy experience as UN ambassador, Haley said throughout her campaign that the United States must help Ukraine defend itself against Russian aggression, a position at odds with Trump. The Russians got to protect themselves against Ukrainian aggression, you mean, and U.S. aggression. Russia wants to have peace. They've been calling for it. Trump would make a deal with them and stop that war. I know he would. There was no indication Trump would moderate his message. He'll continue to focus on the issues that matter: immigration, economy, foreign policy. Carolyn Leavitt, press secretary for the Trump campaign, said late on Tuesday. And indeed, there are issues in those areas: immigration, economy, the foreign policy. Nothing's being handled properly. It's a real big disaster, and it just keeps on getting worse. It's making our country very weak, and also not able to generate the GDP that we're going to need. Biden has his own baggage, including widespread concern about his age. 3/4 of respondents in a February Reuters IPSOS poll said he was too old to work in government after already serving as the oldest U.S. president in history. Yeah. How about he is not very, he's not sane. I mean, he's sick. He looks to me like he's got Alzheimer's. That's what my father-in-law passed away of, and that's what it looks like. And so he needs special care, and he's not able to function properly. About half of the respondents said the same about Trump. Yeah, I'm surprised not all of them did, because they just like saying stuff about Trump that's not true. Trump is sharp. He's on the ball. He doesn't have any symptoms that even remotely look like that at Biden. Anyway, I'm getting too far into it. As in 2020, the race is likely to come down to a handful of swing states, thanks to the winner-take-all state-by-state electoral college system that determines the presidential election. All right, so they are using language to try to get us to, get away from the system that we got. That's what they're trying to say. Like I have a Democrat system where, the most votes wins, and you would never be able to have a competitive system if that came into play. That's why we're a democratic republic. Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are all expected to be closely contested in November. I don't see how they could be that close, really, to be honest with you. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Trump's got him whipped, completely whipped. The central issues of the campaign have already come into focus despite low unemployment. Okay, here's a joke, huh? A red hot stock market. Oh, yeah, that's another one. Big deal. What does it do for the average guy? Nothing. And easing inflation, which you can call inflation easing if it moved down by like 0.001% when it needs to come down by 10, 20%, right? Give me a break. It's ridiculous. Voters have voiced dissatisfaction with Biden's economic performance. What economic performance? You mean his economic destruction? Yeah, still going on too much. Biden's other major weakness is the state of the U.S.-Mexico border, which that's his own creation. He made that mess. There was nothing there until day one when he got in office and started writing those executive orders to screw the border up intentionally, I might add. It's just outrageous. Now I guess there's upwards of 15 million people in the U.S. that aren't supposed to be here illegally. But I don't know for sure, and I don't think anyone knows for sure. That's really the biggest problem, if you want to know the truth of it. All right. Trump's hawkish stance on immigration, including a promise to initiate the largest deportation effort in history, is at the core of his campaign, just as it was in 2016. Well, he wouldn't have to do that if they just do it legally and properly, get the people vetted, get them in here, get them in place so that they can have a future with us rather than all this nonsense. Voters expect Trump would do a better job on both the economy and immigration, according to opinion polls. There's no doubt he would do something with it. That would be better than Biden, because he just did nothing. He's turned everything off, turned the other way, and that was it. Republican lawmakers, egged on by Trump, rejected a bipartisan immigration enforcement bill in February, giving Biden an opportunity to argue that Republicans are more interested in preserving the southern border as a problem rather than finding a solution. Yeah, whatever. All you got to do is just do your job up there, and everything else will take care of itself. Democrats are blaming Republicans for this mess that they made by design. And I could say, well, the Republicans should stand up and do more, of course. Yeah, they can always do a whole lot more. They're pretty weak. I got to admit that. But the Democrats are the one making all these plans and executing them, and then Republicans are just like, duh, they need to get up off their cans there and start doing something. Well, this doesn't have much on Haley. Let's see what else we got here for Haley. This is all going into Trump and Biden. Haley had been among the first Republican contenders to enter the race in February 2023, but she was largely an afterthought until garnering attention for her standout debate performances later in the year. Through it all, she was reluctant to completely disavow her former boss, having served as his UN ambassador. Trump showed no such reticence, frequently insulting her intelligence and her what? That didn't happen. Only in the last months of her campaign did Haley begin to forcefully hit back at Trump, questioning his mental acuity, which is just absolutely ridiculous. It's just stupid is what it is. Give me a break. Calling him a liar and saying he was too afraid to debate her. Why didn't she call him out? What lie? Calling someone a liar, that's easy. Hey, you're a liar. Yeah, what lie? What are you talking about? In the final weeks of the campaign, she became the standard bearer for the anti-Trump wing of the party, a dramatic evolution for someone who just months earlier praised the former president in her stunk speeches. Still, she said that as president, she would pardon Trump if he were convicted in any of the criminal cases he faces, a position she has never been in, which that would be a smart position to have, because you just don't need this turmoil and garbage going on all over the country. You need to come together, but that's not what she's about. She's about, fulfilling the objectives of the warriors that are the people that are not actually warriors. They're just people that want war so they can sell, big bunch of weapons, and that's how it is. All right, well, thank you for coming by. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate it, and have a great day. God bless.